Prepare for teleport!
Welcome to Warmonger 12. Tonight we're talking about the Imperial Fists. Now, on the line via Discord, I have Liam. How are you?
Hi, I'm ready to get fisted.
Ready to get fisted? Now,
I mean,
to do some fisting.
Mm-hmm.
To do some... Well, that's the funny thing. Like, I always thought that the Imperial Fist was all about fisting, like punching fist. However, when we did the Legion review and we went through the fluff, like, this is just like the Warmonger's all about the gaming side of things and the rules and looking at how they interact with other units and stuff. But the actual Legion reviews that we do on the Eye of Horus podcast, the main show, we go through the fluff and Michael makes like tons of notes, like pages and pages of notes, more pages of notes than there are pages of fluff, which is pretty funny. Mm-hmm. But I guess he does write bigger than the font on the page. But and then we go through a Legion and we talk about the fluff. And did you know that the Imperial Fist isn't a punchy fist, it's a grabby fist? Did you know that?
Really?
Yeah, it's about, and the description or the fluff given is that they the reason they're known as the Imperial Fist is because they grab a hold of something in their fist and they don't let go.
Right.
Boom. Also, they use those fists to fucking fire weapons such as autoguns or bolt guns, which are like fucking most of the weapons in the game as well. So, boom, there you go. The reason I've got Liam on, who, yes, that's right, he'll be coming on for the Iron... well, you were on for the Iron Warriors, and you'll be coming on for Mechanicum, because you're a Mechanicum player now, is because I couldn't find anyone in either our Patreon or our local chats or even the 30k podcast chat for all the podcasters, where we'll hang out and talk about 30k in there. No, and I put out a call. Anyone want to talk about Imperial Fists? Nada. No one seems to actually be playing fucking Imperial Fists. So I couldn't actually, like, I can't think of anyone who's playing. Michael's got them, but he hasn't played them. And I played against a guy at Games Workshop who was running the Foda, Fury of the Ancients Imperial Fist. But have you seen any on the table? Have you seen...
I cannot say I've seen any Imperial Fists.
Yeah, so I think, like, because they're seen as the easy mode Legion, which in some ways they probably are, and we're going to go through the rules and you'll see why. And maybe they've got that... Do you think they've got that stigma like the Custodes used to have? Where they're just too easy mode? Do you think I'm using easy... Am I using easy mode in the right way as well? Because that's... People are going to write in.
No, I don't think it's derogatory enough, because they... with the other legions, there's a give and a take. Some bonuses are under specific circumstances or have a very, like, particular point of benefit. But the Imperial Fist just seem to get gift after gift after gift for their legion.
Yeah.
So, if you looked at them and you said... if you said to a new player, do you like defensive play? Do you like aggressive play? Do you like shooting?
Do you like shooting bolt weapons and auto weapons?
Combat? Do you like artillery, or do you like fast-moving troops? Well, Imperial Fists do everything, and they get bonuses for everything, and they're good at everything. I think it's okay for Custodes to be strong because they're supposed to be strong.
Yeah. But the Imperial Fists seem to be like, and I mean, okay, we'll I guess we're addressing the elephant in the room. We might as well just like get into the fucking grab the elephant's trunk, give it the old what do they call it? How's your father, or whatever? I don't know what I'm talking about now. I lost control of whatever the fuck we were talking about. Yeah, so that's why we don't have any field data. I've played against one Fear of the Ancients list. Mm-hmm. Have you played against any Fists? I think I already asked you, but
only in the previous edition.
Only in the, yeah, exactly, yeah. So Very interesting. Michael has run his Alpha Legion and his Emperor's Children, but he hasn't gone back to his fists. Doesn't seem to be interested in them. So
here's a side question. Do you think it's actually the technical difficulty of coloring, doing a yellow army? Do you think that might be a contributor?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think that my opinion, and this is just my opinion, and I want to state that this is my opinion, is that yellow seems to be way easier to paint nowadays than it was back in the day. I don't know. I can't fucking remember actually painting anything yellow, because if you remember, the yellow was always just this thin as piss bullshit, and you could only do it over a white undercoat. And I always wanted to undercoat black because I was more into metallics and shit like that. Metallics go over blacks better. So yellow, and then if you did want to do yellow, then you had to do a white. Like, you had to white out the part you wanted to paint yellow, and then the white paint was also thin as piss dog shit. I remember buying the Games Workshop one back in the day, and then being like, oh, this is rubbish, and then buying Tamiya rubbish, trying a whole bunch of that shit. It wasn't until Foundation paints came along, and I've still got, and when I have to actually do yellow, I've still got my, I think it's called Iron and Dark Sun, maybe? Oh, fuck, is that what it's called?
Yeah, wow.
It might be what it's called, yeah. But it was called a foundation paint. And I don't know if they do that anymore. I'm sure, like, anyone listening at home probably knows. All the paint experts can correct me on that. But yeah, I've got Ian and Dark Sun. If I have to do anything yellow, I'll, like, paint that. But I would never attempt... I would have never attempted in the yellow army until I've seen these like the foundation paints seem like they're pretty good, and then also just airbrushing, like being able to airbrush white over just a small area, tape off a small area, spray the white, then switch to yellow, spray yellow, do a couple of coats of yellow, and you've got and some pre-shading and shit, put some grey, some white. And then pre-shade. And this is my opinion. I'm not a painting person. Anyone who is a painting person is listening to me going, what the fuck is he talking about? But my opinion is yellow is way easier to paint than it was like 10 years ago. So
accessibility for paints, it seems that there are a lot more, there's a wider range of paints that are accessible to a new hobbyist compared to the stuff that we used to use, which would often be, crazy military, modeling stuff.
Dude, the first Space Marine. So when I got the second edition box set while we were just on holidays somewhere, Noosa or Calandra or something, and there was a Mr. Toys toy store, and we were like, oh, Mom, Dad, it's holidays, let's go to Mr. Toys Toy World. And I went in there and I saw that they had Warhammer 40k second edition for sale, and I'd seen white dwarf, like people have been brought white dwarfs into school and shit like that, like at school camp. I remember staying up in like year 8 school camp, and like we went outside under this like outdoor light that was just swarming with insects, just so we could like use that light to fucking look at like these cool pictures of like blood angels fighting orcs in like a cactus forest and shit like that. And I remember being like, oh, this is fucking the best shit ever. And then years later, just went into a store, bought the second ed box, and it was just like, whoa, look at all these models, holy shit. And then the kid who lived diagonally to us on our block, Jeffrey Veltmeyer, he like I basically like was like, okay, you gotta play the fucking orcs. And then I was a Space Marine guy. But the first Marine, and to bring this story back home, I know it's been a long story, but to bring it back home, the first Marines that I painted were in metallic blue from Tamiya. Was it Tamiya enamel? The little bottle, little square bottle. Yeah. And I
that sickly sweet smell.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it did smell good. Smelled good. Solvents, hey. But yeah, then so I painted. But I didn't have thinner because Dad had like all this, stuff in his workshop or whatever. I just got terps or whatever. I think I just used terps or something like that. Or no, I wasn't using thinners. Definitely wasn't using thinners. I was just using terps, I think. Anyway, so I painted them in this like sickly fucking like daubed on fucking metallic blue. And if I'd known back then that I was actually painting Alpha Legion, that would have been fucking great. But instead, I just painted them with that, and then I did have some other like Tamiya thing, like mostly just like World War II shit from doing Tamiya fucking 1/35th scale, just SS fucking tanks and shit like that, whatever. So then I used like fucking whatever fucking jackboot black to like paint their eyes and shit like that, and their like their guns and stuff. And yeah, I didn't actually have any fluff with them or anything like that. They were just fucking metallic blue dudes. Oh, and I also had the robot, the skeleton robots from like what were they? What was that game? Space Crusade.
The Chaos androids.
Yeah. I had a bunch of them painted up in the same scheme, and I was just like
nice.
my because I didn't fucking know. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. So my army was basically just some like space marines, and then also just like skeletal fucking laser gun bayonet dudes. I don't even fucking know what rules. I didn't even know what rules were using. That's weird thinking about it. This was before the Necrons came out. Because I remember the Necrons coming out and everyone being like, "Oh my god, first unit in like fucking forever." Yeah. But yeah. So yeah, Tamiya fucking old school paint. It's come a long way. It's easy to do Imperial Fists now. But before we start, like we're only 11 minutes in. We've got a little bit of time to have a chat. Like we've been playing like relentless events like every month, and then trying to get in games in between as well. I've gone over to Games Workshop a couple of times to play some games, things like that. What do you reckon, just based on the current sort of Brisbane meta, and just to give people an idea, so when we're talking about ideas and crazy ideas and things like that, what would you? There's very little like Fury of the Ancients, right? Like there was a couple of Fury of the Ancients lists at the Games Workshop event I went to, but in our local meta, even if you go down to Mount Gravatt for Briz 30k, or playing games at the library, Necromunda or whatever, in between Necromunda campaigns, or if we go down to Irresistible Force and play games down there, very little like Fury of the Ancients, very little tanks as well, maybe. Like seems to be mostly. Yeah. What's your take?
That's right. I mean, it seems to be even people who've played Heresy for a while or have are refugees from 40k. They're really working from the starter set and then going out from there. And it is really nice to see so many new models available in the plastics that are relatively easy to get your hands on. Everything from Sicarins to different Predator tanks and things like that. It's really nice to see. I think that accessibility's meant that people are more willing to start fresh and not like carry over their armies from the previous edition.
Yeah.
We haven't seen that many kind of crazy lists like Fury of the Ancients or super sniper armies or anything like that.
Yeah. No, barely any Fury of the Ancients. I think like this. So next weekend. So we're recording on the 21st, and on the 27th we've got Briz 30k over at Mount Gravatt, and I've got a game lined up with Josh who's specifically running Fury of the Ancients, a World Eater's Fury of the Ancients. But other than that, like no like super sniper deluxe armies really. I think like the only thing that I've seen used, and I've seen a lot of people using, would be the telepath psyker. Like we predicted, people have been sleeping on psychers for some time. And I've been running the Telekine Dome for the last I don't know, since I painted him, a couple of months maybe now. I'm really enjoying Telekine Dome. Just saying that, like, as soon as you tell people that you've got the Telekine Dome up, that is enough of a deterrent for people to be like, oh fuck. I've had really good luck using that, or not even just luck, like just since I've been using it, my culverins basically, it's been extremely unlikely that they've been like smashed. And
I've tried the thaumaturgist.
Yeah,
I've tried the thaumaturge and the diviner as well, and they've both been a lot of fun. I haven't even had the chance to use the thaumaturge against all these corrupted units that are around now, like now that word bearers are having their renaissance.
Yeah. Hey, do you know what a thaumaturge would be really good in? Is the good old unit of what are those fucking guys called? The Death Shroud with the scythes, because they've got 3 wounds and battle hardened, and 5+ invuln. So they're getting a 5+5. Sorry. If you put a premise Medicae in there, you're getting a 5+5+ against like most shit. And then because they got 3 wounds, they can take extra wounds. And because they're chosen warrior, they can challenge people out. And some of them might just get wounded, and you'll be able to max heal wounds. That would be fucking sick. Oh, the other thing is the other one. Oh, do you know that? Okay, so the ultimate rehealing regeneration unit is fire drinks, right? So they've got 2 wounds. They've got they have it will not die 5+. If you put a Primus Medicae in there, you can give them a 3+, 5+, feel no pain. Reroll, and then he also gives you a reroll on it will not die. So you'd be rerolling it will not die, and then if you still have wounds left over, boom, thaumaturgy.
Wow.
Oh yeah, gotta heal those wounds.
So, to get back on topic, this is what I'm gonna. This is my new perception of Imperial Fists. We all seem to be avoiding them. We're trying not to be. People are trying not to be jerks. They're trying not to pick the Legion that's too strong, or How about Imperial Fists are great for new players, people who are getting into the game for the first time. They buy the set, they open it up, it's full of all those jewel-like objects of wonder, and they go, don't really know much about the setting, don't really know much about the scene. Why not try Imperial Fists? Because they're forgiving, they're flexible, you can do any kind of variation you like. Now that paints are it's easier for you to get your hands on paints to make stuff look really nice. There's that no skill barrier to entry.
Yeah.
You even get decals in the box. You're all ready to go. Play Imperial Fists if you're a new player.
Yeah. I literally don't know anything about White Dwarf, but I'm assuming there's some way to get like the articles from White Dwarf to show you how to paint yellow real easy, right? Yeah. Or it might be on YouTube or Twitch or some shit like that. It can't be that hard. Like if there's Games Workshop have gone through and done all those painting things on all these different all their new like magical paints, like the what did you just call it? Is it contrast? Yeah, contrast. Did you just call it contrast?
Yeah, that's right. Contrast paints.
Yeah, boom. So you just spray it like this gray color that already is self-tinting or something, or self-shading or some bullshit, and then you just put this like special, wash or ink or whatever the fuck they're calling it, contrast on it, and then boom, it's basically done. Like it looks really good. Like, fucking, I've seen the fucking highest levels of fucking insane painting. I've played against some of the most like insane armies ever. I've also played against some that are just painted with contrast paints, and I've enjoyed both those games because they've looked really fucking good. Like, you don't need to be like a fucking Supermax Pro painter. When you're walking past a table where 2 Supermax Pro painter armies are facing off each other on really awesome terrain, you definitely stop and go, holy fuck, look at that. But you don't need that to paint. You don't need that to play. You just need to have put some effort and forethought into it, and just thought about it like a bit. It's easy to do. Okay, well let's get in the rules. On that positive note, thank you for bringing it around to a positive note, Liam. I was trying to pin the blame on people. I'm always keen to pin the blame. Why is no one playing Imperial Fist? People
are always calling Tim toxic in the scene.
That's right.
I'm just trying to dilute that toxicity just a little.
Yeah. All right,
Bring it back.
All right, so Imperial Fists, here's a special rule. All of the legions have a special rule. They all get a thing. Imperial Fists is models of this special rule gain a bonus of +1 on all their 2-hit rolls with any auto weapon or bolt weapon as part of a shooting attack, including as part of a reaction. So, boom, all bolt guns and auto weapons. Do you remember like the list of like how many weapons that is? Holy fuck! Let's go there and fucking read through the list of weapons. I remember someone wrote it out in a thing, and I copy and pasted it so I could read it out at some point in our show. Fuck, where is it? Armory. Definitely get these like the electro copies of the books as well. Instead of like I've got the rule book, like a hard copy of the rule book, which is really nice. But then I bought them on the digital version because from Apple, they're like $50 or something, but it's cheaper than the book, and you can just drag your finger around. Although having said that, the reason I've been talking for so long is because I've just been feverishly dragging around. Okay, so auto weapons. So all of these weapons that are auto weapons and bolt weapons, you're getting +1 to hit. Now remember what +1 to hit means. Consider this: if you're BS5, you're hitting on 2+. +1 to hit does not give you a benefit. You cannot hit on 1+. If a +1 to your ballistic skill, which is what a Cognoscignum gives, which is what you get on a you can put one on a Tech Marine, join them to almost any unit except Terminators. You can put them on a they come on a Master of Signal, and they come on a, who's your boy? Your fucking heavy weapons guy? What's his name?
Armistos.
Armistos. They come on an Armistos. So easy to get. That's +1 BS. If you're BS5 and you're hitting on 2s and you get +1 to your BS, you go to BS6. You're hitting on 2s. If you roll a 1, you get to re-roll it, and then you get a chance of hitting. I think it might only be a 6, but whatever. +1 BS going to BS6, much better than that's the difference between +1 to hit and +1 to BS.
Yeah.
So if you're BS4, +1 to hit, very good, takes you to 2+. If you're already BS5, doesn't matter. So things like Seekers, you're not getting any benefit out of that +1 to hit. Okay, so because there's no negative modifiers or anything like in Necromunda, it'd be really good in Necromunda. Like +1 to hit is really good in games like that. Okay, where you can stack them, you know. Okay, so bolt weapons is bolt pistol, bolter, combi bolter, kraken bolter with the Tempest and Scorpius rounds, the Nemesis bolter, heavy bolter, Gravis bolt cannon, Gravis heavy bolter array, and the Avenger bolt cannon. Ooh, so yeah, a Gravis heavy bolter array is what's on. Gravis heavy bolter battery is what's on the rapier. So you'd be hitting on 2s with rerolls to hit. Pardon me, rerolls to hit with like 8 48-inch range shots. That's pretty good. Heavy bolters, obviously heavy. They're four shots now, so heavy bolter squad hitting on 2s. Just extra hits is extremely good, and the fact that you can do it every turn, the fact that like you can't snipe that guy out because it's just their Legion rule, it's built in. The fact Dreadnoughts are not going to get a benefit from it because they're BS5. The +1 to hit does not do anything. I'm struggling to think of if there's a thing, because I don't think it stacks with snapshots. The +1 to hit, right? Right. So, yeah, interesting. Now. And then if we scroll across to auto weapons, it's a study shotgun, rotor cannons, autocannons, Reaper autocannons, carries assault cannon, Gravis autocannon, Gravis autocannon battery, Predator cannon, Punisher rotary cannon. So that's pretty fucking good so this is all models with the Imperial. So that's tanks, dreadnoughts, infantry, cavalry, everything. So all the vehicles, so they're Punishers and hitting on 2s.
If you've got Brethren of Iron, for example, you can have robots.
Yep.
Who are getting this bonus.
Yep. Phalanx, you can give them a no, you can't give them a bolt weapon or an auto weapon, so it doesn't matter for Phalanx.
Oh.
But you know, the Reaper cannon. The Mauler cannon on Castellax.
Well, there's got to be an Imperial
miniguns on
Fist
Vorax.
pattern Phalanx, hasn't there?
Yeah, where they give them a bolt gun.
Weapon of some kind.
Man, dude, just a Phalanx, just like shooting a autocannon like it's just a fucking long arm, that would be shit hot. Like, imagine if it was like an autocannon with a stock, and they just. I guess Phalanx have like one gun arm, so it'd be like that arm would be built into the stock or something of an autocannon. That'd be fucking sick. Sky Reaper battery, Fellblade accelerator cannon, which is the thing on the Fellblade, so that's hitting on two, or getting +1 to hit. I guess that doesn't really matter though, right? Because they're both blast, so +1 to hit on blast doesn't do anything. Ballistic skill +1 would make it scatter less. +1 to hit with a blast weapon doesn't do shit. Kratos battle cannon, when you're firing the AP shells, they're just heavy 2 sunder. Strength 8 AP 2 heavy 2 sunder. That's a pretty fucking good gun, hitting on 2 shots. Strength 8 AP 2 heavy 2 sunder, hitting on 2 boom.
Really nice.
The flash burn shell is also range 24, strength 10 AP 1 heavy 1 armor bane ranged gets hot. Holy fuck, that's insane. Just don't roll a 1 there. And then what else is okay, so that's all those. That's all the auto weapons. But that's all your auto cannons. The Punisher cannon off the fucking what's it called? Sikaran. Gravis autocannon off the aircraft, like your Stormbirds and things like that.
And also think about those,
Savage.
In some of the legacy PDS, for example, in some of the corners of the rules, there might be weapons that people never take because the ballistic skill's 3 or even 2. But with this, suddenly it might open up new lines of interesting, say, I don't know, there might be a fortification that's got a heavy bolter on it, but it's only ballistic skill 2. But if it's if it's an Imperial Fist, autocannon or a heavy bolter on a tower, suddenly it's hitting on a 4+ instead. It's a little less sucky and a little more useful for cheap points.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know if they're gonna have any problem fucking getting enough like autocannons and heavy bolters. Like, I think just the fact that it's dreadnoughts and vehicles as well means that, like, predators with that, like the Punisher, for example. Punisher Sikaran is fucking amazing. Like, you can put it's got 2 sponson heavy bolters, a hull heavy bolter, and you can put a pintle heavy bolter, so that's 16 shots from that, and then whatever the fucking Punisher cannon is, and they're all hitting on 2s. Like that's like over 30 shots just smashing into shit. Like Solar Auxilia, imagine Solar Auxilia, they're AP4 as well, so that would just chew through them like a motherfucker.
Same with Mechanicum, they're welcome to.
Yeah, just your basic predators. They come with sponson heavy bolters. You can put a pintle heavy bolter, and then the predator autocannon. All of those are hitting on 2s. Heavy weapons, autocannon, heavy weapons squad. Now they've got rending. All just like super worth just taking them. Like fucking, you get a massive boon just for no points. So I would say, like, I've seen some TT Sim games. I've been a party to some TT Sim games where people have taken, the Iliastus assault cannon spam and things like that, all hitting on 2s and then rending on 6s. Pretty crazy. You can like stack a ton of shit.
That too is some people, they get bored. There's certain weapons that people are always using, and I know multi-melters, for example, are pretty hot right now. It's a way of letting you play different kinds of weapons on vehicles and on your troops to the normal accepted wisdom. Maybe, for example, you really like to do historical models of tanks and stuff like that. You could do really cool heresy tanks that have battle, like your Kratos tank, for example. You can have the big turret on it, and it's cool because you've got that bonus to hit with it. Whereas normally you might go for, say, the melter cannon or something like that. It changes what's viable, and it might open up new modelling opportunities for you too.
Yeah, definitely Kratos, like, so much more viable. Like getting like the plus on the hit. You can put a ton of heavy bolters. You can put that, like, the battle cannon on there. Just like at 24 inches, it's, what was that? Strength 10 AP1 or something like that. I've moved off the page, but yeah, super strong, and lots of different weapons that some, like, most, or a lot of people don't really run that much, you know, like autocannons. Like, people don't run. Like, when the fuck was the last time you saw? The last time I saw a squad of more than 5 just like dudes with heavy bolters that was Imperial Fists. So the last time I've seen any, just a 5, like a 10-man heavy bolter squad that's any legion other than Imperial Fist, you know, like, fucking
look at how much the Iron Warriors benefited having all of those shrapnel rounds on bolt weapons.
Oh yeah,
and it's just like, whoa, suddenly, you know, bolt guns and heavy bolters and everything else are cool again.
Yeah. All right, well, okay, so that's their special rule. So bear in mind, when all we go through these units and special rules and rights and everything, that every single model, so just your basic troop squads are hitting on 2s with their bolt guns at close range, at 12 inches and at 12 inches, and if you're doing Fury of the Legion, 20 dudes are putting out 60 shots hitting on 2s. Yeah. It's fucking out of control. So I fire like 40 culverins hitting on 2s when I use a Cognos Signum on them. And that's only for the shooting phase. I can only do that once per turn. For reaction fire, they're firing back on their normal BS. Whereas Imperial Fists firing back. So you shoot an autocannon squad, they can shoot you at 2s to hit. Then when they return fire, they're hitting on 2s. And your Cognos Signum can't give you that. And then when you fucking try and charge them, then they're just like Overwatch on hitting on 2s with autocannons or bolt guns or whatever the fuck. So you can do a Fury of Legion in your turn, boom, 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 3 shots each at 12 inches, and then or 2 shots out to 24, and then as a react, and then and then return fire another fucking 40 shots. And then when they assault you, do another 40 shots, hitting on 2s. Yep. Like, that's just, like...
That's great.
Holy shit. Obviously, they're probably going to kill some of you through shooting and other means, but, like, just on a purely math hammer level, just think about how crazy that is. So, all right. Let's move along. So, Warlord traits. So, what we're going to do is we've gone through the Legion special rule. We're going to do the Warlord traits, the extra equipment, special units, special reaction, and then finish it off with the rights.
Okay, Solar Marshal is a loyalist-only trait. So, the Warlord with this trait and all models in any friendly unit that the Warlord joins gain +1 to their weapon skill characteristic when locked in combat with one or more enemy units that have the traitor allegiance. Slam dunk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then you get an extra shooting. You get an extra reaction in the.
Any of the opposing players' phases.
Oh yeah, there you go. So any phase, so you get an extra one, and you can choose to either use it in the movement phase, shooting phase, or assault phase. So that's really good. I've got the Iron Hands version of that, which gives you an extra one in it. Like, you don't get to do a movement reaction, but you get to do an extra one in the shooting phase or assault phase.
Yep.
And that is pretty good. Whereas this one just fucking gives you an extra one in any of those phases. And and also +1 weapon skill on your leader and the unit when he's in combat with traitors, which you're pretty much always going to be fighting unless you're fucking... I mean, you have to be a loyalist to take it. So unless you just like happen to draw another loyalist army, I mean, almost every event we go to, like loyalists versus traitors. Anyone who knows heresy is playing loyalists versus traitors only. So, I mean, you could theoretically get forced to play on the traitor side just to make up balance or something like that, but you're gonna get that a lot of the time. +1 to weapon skill is fucking insane when you think about just like on a weapon skill 5 Terminator unit, or and just a weapon skill 4 unit going up to 5 is fucking amazing, but weapon skill 5 going to 6 is out of control.
Any unit you're putting with your Warlord is going to be a kick butt unit already. To give them +1 weapon skill on top of whatever they are
Yeah.
is so sweet.
Yeah.
And what's also great about it too is if you're playing low points or you're starting out, even if you put your warlord in with a unit of say 10 to 20 tactical marines, they still kick ass with that +1 weapon skill.
Yeah, and normally weapon skill 5 shit will just fucking tee off on weapon skill 4. You're hitting on 3s, you're only being hit on 5s. If your weapon skill 4 is gun to 5, it's 4s and 4s. It's gonna save you so much fucking trouble. You're not being hit on 3s. You're not having to hit on 5s. Like hitting on this, being on the same level is so much better. Like it's fucking extremely better. If your weapon skill 5 goes to 6 and now you're hitting veteran units on 3s and weapon skill 5 is only hitting you on 5s, that's where it's like total fucking apex shittery. You know, you can just really fuck on people. Like even like Gal Vorbak, like that, if you have that on your veteran unit or veteran term, like Housecarls, for example, or I think Phalanx Warders might be weapon skill 5 when we get to them, but if you have that, you can actually stand up to Gal Vorbak because they're only hitting you on 5. Suddenly, like most of their attacks are not hitting you. When you go from being just like hitting half the time, being hit half the time, to only like being hit 1/3 of the time, you just fucking don't die as much. Like it's fucking simple as that. It's really easy. So, all right.
And I'll tell you what too. When you're combing through the books, it's really hard to get weapon skill bonuses.
Yeah. There's nothing. Yeah, there's no cognizant for weapon skill. Yeah. There's nothing that makes you fight. But there's no like combat drug fucking guy. That would be fucking really good.
Okay. Next one's Warden of Inwit. When within 6 inches of an objective or within your own deployment zone, and that's nice that they add that. A warlord with this trait and all models in any friendly unit that the warlord joins automatically pass any morale or pinning tests they're called upon to make. In addition, they may make an additional reaction during the opposing player's assault phase. Now that's really nice.
It's pretty good.
And what's also really great about that is pinning and morale checks are a real pain in the butt. That can, if you break and run, no matter how tough your unit is, you can get run down. This stops that. And it also helps you to deal with, sniping and other mind games. There's some interesting abilities out there that can cause pinning, like psychic abilities. Also mechanicum abilities that can cause morale tests or pinning tests. Auto blocking, brilliant.
And the free reaction's only in the assault phase, which is kind of like Suxor, but compared to the shooting phase reaction or the Solar Marshal, where you can just choose whichever fucking one you want. Assault phase. I don't know if assault phase is the best one. I think shooting phase is preferable. So there is there is one side effect to this one. At least there's a limitation. Solar Marshal, there is no limits. There's no fucking limits. All right, tell us about Architect of Devastation.
Okay, so if you're planning on devastating
shit,
once again, Warlord and any unit they join may reroll fail to hit rolls of 1 as long as that unit is entirely within an area of terrain that grants a cover save, or they are embarked within a fortification. In addition, they gain an extra shooting phase, opposing players phase. They get a shooting reaction, which is nice. And
that's fucking crazy when you stack that with your +1 to hit, so you're hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s. That's fucking really good. Gives you that's really good for plasma if you're thinking about running a bunch of plasma shit. Being able to reroll that 1, that's fucking sweet. I think there's an ability. And then you also have another shooting phase reaction, which is really good. Fortifications are terrible, but if at some point they fix them and allow you to take fortification, remember the old Castellan Forsorg, or the there was there was the Castellan Forsorg, and then there was the Strategic Raid Defender Forsorg, which allowed you to take some extra forts and shit like that as well. If they did that and then allowed you to take multiple fortifications, or and then I think in 6th ed or 7th ed they had fortification networks, I think that's what it was, where you could take like, it was one fortification choice, but you could take
multiple things together.
Yeah, multiple bastions. That could be cool, because then that, like, I would definitely, I love fucking fortifications. That is a concept that I would play probably, and I could actually maybe be talked into playing Imperial Fists, so I could just have a whole ton of just tactical squads and other dudes just like crammed into fucking all my forts, because I've got a ton of shit. Like I've got like
there's a very basic fortification you can buy, and that's just a line of barricades.
Oh yeah.
It's very, very cheap.
Yeah, without access to like more, maybe that's just future proofing for some further time when there is like Castellan Forsword comes back, maybe, and that would be like fucking sick. Like that's a really like nicely themed army, because you can only put fortifications presumably in your own deployment zone, so you would always be getting re-rolling. Oh, sorry. Oh no, this is just cover and fortifications. So I guess you could play Wardens of Inwit. You could also play.
Yeah, they both seem to be kind of, shooty kind of warlord traits.
Yeah. Architect of Devastation though gives you those rerolling ones, and then also if you're in a fortification, you can reroll those ones from inside a fortification as well. Like that's fucking sweet. And then the shooting phase reaction though, there's like the one you want, because then someone shoots your bastion, and then everyone in the bastion can shoot back, just like fucking totally super. Like that's some really fucking cool shit. Alright, cool. So that's the warlord traits. There's 3 of those there. The Solar Marshal one is really good, and most of the things I've seen have been people running Solar Marshal. A warlord with this trait in any friendly unit. So if you're playing Fury of the Ancients, I guess you can give them Solar Marshal, and then they become weapon skill 6. So that's pretty fucking crazy on a Fury of the Ancients. And then Architect of Devastation, that could be good for your Mimesis rifle spam, right? You're not getting the +1 to hit, but you are rerolling 1s to hit from cover, which is where you want your Mimesis dudes to be hiding. So Architect of Devastation could be a really good like snipey boy meta warlord trait. All right, let's get on to extra equip. We're gonna jump past the Rats of War and we'll come back to them at the end. So they have fucking 3 Rats of War, of course. Okay, cool. Let's go to the Armory of the Imperial Fists. So, Vigil, Pattern, Storm Shield. It's a 3+ invulnerable shield. You can bind them for all of your characters. We won't go through all of... There's like 2 paragraphs on what it gives you, but it's a 3+ invulnerable save. Can't stack it with the saves. And you can't modify it by giving it anything else. Like Cyber Familiar only goes to 3+ anyway. I don't think there is anything that gives you more better than a 3+ anyway. Everything but caps out at either a 3 or a 4+. And you can't use another fucking weapon in that hand, so you can't use a 2-handed weapon. But it gives a shit, because if you're in Terminator armor, a Thunderhammer is a 1-handed weapon. Boom, boom, boom. That's all you need. That's all she wrote. Or a Paragon Blade. Paragon Blade and Storm Shield, very good fucking combo. This is an extremely good item. Next one up is Teleport Strike, which you can buy for 20 points for any Terminator squad, Tartarus squad, Cataphractii squad, Tartarus squad, Command squad in Tartarus or Cataphractii. They can be given teleport for 25 points. Cool.
Yep. No warp accidents either, which is...
Yeah, and then 20 points per model for a independent character. So, that's fucking sweet. Yeah, you get that without having... What Liam's referencing there is the fucking trans-dimensional splicer, or whatever that is, on the Warmonger. At the moment, the only way, outside of having it in New Legion rules, like the Night Lords get it to some extent in the Imperial Fists, is to... you need to use the Warmonger, in which case you have to take dangerous terrain checks once you land, and you have to always be charging ABC. So you have to fucking split that dude off on a death mission on his own, otherwise you could be kited.
Yep.
In high level play though, maybe if you're not in high level play, it doesn't matter. But yeah, so Teleport Strike, pretty good. 25 points per unit, 20 points per model. That's fucking very good. Like, being able to teleport and assault with Terminators is just like fucking extremely good. And if you can have like Terminators with storm shields, they can teleport and assault.
And once again, if you're a new player and you want to try, you don't have all those cool new vehicles and stuff yet, this is a way of you still doing cool stuff that other people can't.
Yeah.
And dropping troops around the place without having to have a model. There's no vehicle or anything that you need for it.
That's right. It's extremely good for new players.
Mm-hmm.
If you're new, yeah. Okay, so, and then last of all is not last of all. Third of all is the Solarite Power Gauntlet. Now, this is a set at Strength 10, AP 1 melee unwieldy weapon. So it's a punching fist at Strength 10, AP 1.
Mm-hmm.
Set at Strength 10. It's not times 2, not times 2 plus 2, or times 4, or whatever the fuck. Set at Strength 10, AP 1 melee unwieldy. So that is extremely good. It's not a specialist weapon, so you can also have a bolt pistol, and then you get an extra punch. That's pretty fucking good. Holy shit. It's a shame they didn't fucking show some of these Solarite Power Gauntlets with any of the other legions. It'd be cool to be able to have that on like a Terran guy from another legion. But anyway.
And the best thing is everyone's got Power Fists in their basic squad, in their plastic sets. All you got to do is you stick it on your sergeant and paint it gold, and you've got a super Power Fist. That's brilliant.
Yeah. But remember, in the hands of an Imperial Fist, it's a grabby fist, not a punchy fist. So that's what Solarite Gauntlet's all about. It's about grabbing. You just grab at them with a powerful fist. Okay, next up is the Iliastus Assault Cannon. Now, this is an auto weapon, and it may be selected by the following unit. So we'll go through this because this is a few things. So any model with the Imperial Fist special rule and the infantry type can exchange a heavy flamer for an assault cannon for 10 points each. So your heavy weapon squad plus 10 points each, give them each an assault cannon.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. And then your Legion Predator with Imperial Fist special rule can exchange a turret-mounted Predator cannon for a turret-mounted twin-linked Iliastus assault cannon for no additional points cost. And any model with Dreadnought vehicle unit type and Legion Astartes Imperial Fist special rule may exchange a heavy flamer for an Iliastus assault cannon for 20 points each. So it's not like in the olden days where you could just swap any heavy bolter for an Iliastus. It's just the flamers and stuff. So I think Blood Angels are the only people who can do max assault cannons now. The Iliastus assault cannon though is range 24, strength 6, AP 4, assault 4, rending 6 plus, malfunction. And that is, malfunction is if a weapon with a special rule is used to make a shooting attack as part of a reaction, it gains a Gets Hot special rule for the shooting. So reaction fire, you're still hitting on 2s, but you've also got Gets Hot on a weapon that's assault 4. So it's kind of dangerous, but strength 6, AP 4, rending 6 plus, pretty fucking good. Assault 4 as well, which means your heavy flamer squad gets to move and shoot with their assault, move up to 7 inches and then shoot their assault cannon. Because it's assault 4, not heavy 4 like it used to be. So that's pretty cool. Not fucking mad at that, mate. Pretty good little swapsy weapon there, just like chucking on a bunch of guys. I don't think I've seen an assault cannon. I've only seen a Blood Angels assault cannon, like foot troop unit. It could be fun to have like a whole bunch of miniguns, just a few squads of miniguns, but then your heavy flamer squad. Well, autocannons are also pretty good. So, alright, so Legion, and then, they have it goes straight into Consularis. Okay. Oh, this is the guy that everyone misses all the time, because he's like on the bottom of the equipment page. Okay, so, pretty good equipment there. Some nice little bits and pieces, some, thematic, like punching fist shit. Oh, sorry, grabby fist stuff. And then the minigun, we all know that like because the Imperial Fists were on Terra, they were just like, hey, how about you give us the latest shit? And the Martians were like, yeah, we've got this minigun. And they're like, hey, yeah, we already have rotor cannons. And they're like, this one's better. That sort of thing. So we all know that them and the Blood Angels were just always like toting around miniguns at all times, max minigun meta. But yeah, the teleport strike, that's some serious business. And then also, Storm Shield as well, just another fucking really good thing. So for a new player, if you want to like run some like good shit, that's why I always suggested new players should play Mechanicum in the last edition, because like it's way more complicated than playing Marines. And if you can just like figure out how to win with them, and in the last edition at least, they were way more forgiving. So if you could figure out how to play Mechanicum, and then when you went and played Gun Pigs, it was super easy. Okay, so let's move over to special units, and first special unit is the Consularis Castellan. Tell us what his special rules are.
It's 20 points, on top of your consul cost. He gains fire support special rule and a heavy unit subtype. So, when making an attack with a heavy weapon, Castellan can increase the number of attacks made with that weapon by +1 when making a shooting attack.
Ooh.
So, for example, if you shoot an autocannon's 2 shots, it becomes 3.
Yeah.
So,
hey, do you know what I just realized? Night fighting is neg 1 ballistic skill during night. So if you don't have any night fighting, you would normally be neg 1 ballistic skill. So ballistic skill 5 would normally be only hitting on 3s, but they stay hitting on 2s with a bolt weapon. So
in addition,
that's where it's good. Yeah.
Any Legion heavy support squads in the same detachment as the Castellan gain the line subtype.
Ooh.
So, yeah. So the Castellan can take he can get a mastercrafted heavy bolter for free, or he could get a mastercrafted autocannon for 5 points, or an assault cannon for 10 points, not forgetting the extra die that he gets to roll.
So he'd be firing 4 shots with his minigun essentially, and also making all your heavy support squads line.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. He's definitely worth 20 points, right?
Yeah. He doesn't get the same gear that the Armistos does.
Yeah, he doesn't have the huge like he can't take a las cannon or a multi-melter or a twin-linked heavy flamer, for example.
Or like the other gear that they get as well. But he just is better at shooting, and making all of your heavy support squads line is amazing. Okay.
Yeah, that's fucking really good. Like, just think about, like, if you're running that full Castellan, like, if you're running that Warlord trait that's giving you the reroll ones to hit if you're inside fortifications, you can be inside a fortification and holding an objective with your heavy weapons squad, just blasting shots out of, like, a bunker or whatever. That's fucking sick. Bunkers aren't very strong, not very good, but the fact that he can't be sniped if he's hiding in the bunker as well, and then he's giving all these units line. Oh, fucking so good.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, yeah, so we'll jump across to the Templar Brethren. I'll take us through these ones. So this is the first Elite's choice, or special unit, and it is an Elite's choice. It's 150 points for 5 guys. They come with Artificer, a power sword, Artificer armor, a power sword, bolt, frag, crack. Otherwise, they're veteran stats, weapon skill 5, 2 wounds, etc., 2 attacks. So coming with Artificer armor and a power sword for 150 points for 5, and then they also have Furious Charge 1, so +1 strength on charge. So there'd be strength 5 with the power swords, rending power swords. And then Crusader, and Crusader now is when you win a combat, then you roll 2d6 and choose for the initiative roll to run people down. So fucking pretty strong. 25 points, you can take up to 5 additional dudes, so maximum of 10, and then that would be 250 points for 10 of them. Pretty good. The fucking Artificer armor, power sword veterans. The entire squad can take melter bombs for 25 points, 2.5 points per model. If you take the full 10, pretty good as well. Any model can can swap a bolt pistol for a plasma pistol, and then you can take a Nuncio Vox, a Vexilla. Champ can take a Thunder Hammer, or a Gauntlet, or a Fist. You can also take an Archaeotech pistol. That's fucking shit hot. Holy fuck. What is he, BS? Yeah, he's just BS4, but even so. And then also one of his weapons can be mastercrafted as well. So, fuck, you can take a mastercrafted fucking Solar 8 Power Gauntlet, in case you run into any shit that like all those rending power swords can't kill. They could all just take melter bombs for 25 points. That's totally worth it. So what are you, 150, 175, 250, 275, all with melter bombs. You could take it up to 300 points by giving an extra 25 points to shit. So an Archaeotech pistol and a Mastercrafting and a... So Mastercrafted Thunderhammer and an Archaeotech pistol on the Sarge.
Yeah.
With his weapon skill 5. And then just fucking smash it. Like, you come across a Dreadnought, you can either try and go for the 6s to rend and just try and stab to get to death at initiative, or you can just wait and just throw melter bombs all over it, and your sergeant can just, if it doesn't die from that, he can just finish it with a Thunderhammer. It's like fucking, how many attacks? Yeah, he's got 3 attacks base, so 4 Thunderhammer attacks on the charge. Or, just give him a Mastercrafted Solarite Power Gauntlet, and then you'd be getting 5 Strength 10 AP 1 hits on the attack, or attacks on the charge. After firing, because you can, your Archaeotech pistol, you could probably shoot a wound off with an Archaeotech pistol. That's rending 3+, right? So that's like a fucking savage unit.
Yeah, I mean, if you had that close combat warlord in here as well, weapon skill 6.
Make a weapon skill 6. Why not? Fuck.
Why not go crazy?
Alright, so next up we've got Phalanx Warders, or as Michael likes to call them, the Phalanx Warders. They're 225 for 10 guys. And they come with a bolt pistol, power axe, boarding shield, frag, crack, breach a charge, and power armor. However, they're just normal marine stats with a boosted leadership. They're only 1 wound, they're only 1 skill BS4, they're only 1 attack, but they are leadership 8 and 9 for the Sarge. However, yeah, they all come with a power axe and a boarding shield for 225 points for 10. It's pretty fucking insane. They get a rule called Shield Wall and a rule called Lockstep. Shield Wall is now models that are in base to base with 2 other models with boarding shields and are neither falling back nor pinned. Add +1 to the invulnerable saves to a maximum of 3+. Oh, cool. So they get fucking 4+ invulnerable save if they're in base to base with 2 other boyfriends. Friendly models with independent character special rule that have joined a unit of Phalanx Warders also benefit from this special rule, so long as the unit includes at least 3 models with the Shield Wall special rule. So that is fucking sick. And then Lockstep is if a unit that includes at least 3 models with the Lockstep special rule and is not locked in combat, all friendly models in that unit, including those without the Lockstep special rule, gain a bonus of +1 weapon skill for the duration of any assault phase in which the unit is successfully charged by 1 or more enemy units. Holy fuck. So base weapon skill 5 if you are charged as long as you have 3 dudes. And then shield wall as long as those 3 dudes are all touching. Then you would get +1 to your invulnerable saves as well. So you'd have a 4+ invulnerable save, and you'd be weapon skill 4 when you're charged. And then you just smash back with fucking like endless power axes.
They've all got power axes.
Yeah. That's pretty good. Good. Yeah, and then you put your warlord in there and make a weapon skill 5 base. Weapon skill 6 if they're charged. Okay, cool. And then 10 additional Phalanx Warders for 20 points each. Very good. And for every 5 models, you can replace your bolter, which you're hitting on 2s with one of the following weapons: Magna Combi Weapon, Minor Combi Weapon, Flamer, Melter Gun, Plasma Gun, Thunderhammer. Oh, so for every 5 you can take a Thunderhammer on a guy. That's also very good. Phalanx Water, so you can take a Vexilla, Nuncio Vox, and Sarge can take all the usual shit. Solarite Gauntlet, blah blah blah. Sergeant can also take Melter Bombs, Artificer Armor. The entire squad can take Melter Bombs for 50 points.
Yeah.
So that's a fast attack unit for some reason, but they can also choose a Rhino, Termite, Land Raider Proteus as dedicated transports.
Put these guys in, like, everyone knows these guys are a nightmare to deal with.
These dudes are coming out of a termite. Like, they're hitting on 2s with their rapid fire. And then
Yeah.
they just stand there and go, now what? And you can take a couple of melter guns in there, just burn shit. The fucking drill can burn shit. And then you go, oh fuck, well what am I going to do? I guess I've got to charge them. You made a big mistake. Because they fucking return fire with their BS2 bolters, then they overwatch with their BS2 bolters, and then their weapon skill 5 when you actually fight them with their power axes. So fucking crazy. That is like the total just like it is like the ultimate just like grabby fist tactic there. Just like we're fucking here now. What are you gonna do? Like we've got this fucking. We just come out of the ground. We're just here. Like or just land raider or whatever the fuck whatever deployment method you want to use. That's fucking crazy. I'm gonna look up the other boys. The special exemplary battle. Oh man, I'm sure I've got the exemplary battle thing here.
Let's see. Okay, so
for people listening at home as well, if you can hear fans going in the background, it's because it's exceptionally hot in Brisbane at the moment. It's like fucking. It's been very very hot. Huskars.
Yep.
Okay, so you can take 1 unit of Imperial Fist Huskars. These are from the exemplary battles that came out in the end of last edition, and then they did a document which drops the rules for those exemplary battle units into this edition. So you need to go to Games Workshop. Warhammer-community.com and then look for the PDF and then go to the download section and then PDFs and all this sort of shit. Once you find that though, it's the very first unit. So Huskars, 275 points for 5. They're Cataphractic Terminators. They're the veteran Terminator stats though. The weapon skill 5. And they have leadership 8/9. Basic Cataphractic Terminators are only 7/8, which is a fucking nightmare. My dudes are always running away. They come with a power weapon, a Vigil Storm Shield. That's pretty good.
Yep.
3+ and vulnerable. Straight up.
Oh damn.
They come with the special rules are Stubborn, very good, Relentless, Bulky 2, Iron Bulwark, Huskar Retinue, and Deep Strike. This Deep Strike is built in. That's cool. You can take up to 5 extra ones for 50 points each. Any Huskar can take exchange their power weapon for a Solarite Gauntlet, which you're probably going to want to do on a bunch of them, at least half of them. I don't know if you want to do all of them. Like on my Terminators, I have just a bunch of power axes because people always just at least 2 or 3 die from shooting before they fight every time. So there's no point in giving them all a fucking power fist, right? And depending, if you're deep striking and then charging people, maybe it doesn't matter. You could always lose someone from Overwatch, and those 10 points or 20 points or 30 points can really add up. You can cram something else, cram some more Solarite Gauntlets somewhere else in the army, you know. Okay, so now Iron Bulwark is if a unit includes at least 3 models with the Iron Bulwark special rule and it's not locked in combat, all friendly models in that unit gain the Battle Hardened 1 special rule for the duration of any assault. Whoa! Oh, fuck. So, yeah, dude, I haven't even read these rules. This is insanity. So, okay, so Battle Hardened 1. So, as long as 3 models with the special rule and is not locked in combat, then all friendly models in the unit gain Battle Hardened 1 for the duration of any assault phase in which it's successfully charged by 1 or more enemy units. So, basically, if you're charged, you have to be not in combat already, but if someone does charge you, you get Battle Hardened 1. Battle Hardened 1, very, 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 very good. Like when we talked about the Deliverers back in the Raven Guard app, the Neg 1 strength, Sons of Horus have the Neg 1 strength against them in close combat. That's very, very good because it's like almost like a pseudo version. Anything strength, like anything. So what Battle Hardened 1 does is increases your toughness by 1 only for the purposes of instant death. But what instant death also controls is whether you get a Feel No Pain save or not. So it's not just 1 buff, it's 2 buffs. If you've got Feel No Pain, or if you can put Feel No Pain in that unit, you're getting Feel No Pain saves. So if, in this case, if you had a unit of these Huskars and you had a Primus Medicae Terminator armor and he joined this unit, you would have a 3+, 5+ against Power Fist, Thunderhammers, fucking whatever. Anything else that's strength 8 or less. So very, very good. When in a game where you're talking about like throwing your Terminator units against other Terminator units, that is extremely good.
Damn.
And then the Hostile Retinue is just basically you can take them as a part of a HQ choice instead of an elite's choice. So yeah, man, that's fucking really good. They have up to 10 of them, 50 points each base. That's like kind of expensive, but you are getting that 3+. You're getting the deep strike as well. You're getting that Hostile Retinue. Like when you deep strike, and then if you're a fucking savage Terminator unit, such as these guys who are a weapon skill 5 Terminator unit, and you deep strike in, and then you assault something, and then you just utterly fucking annihilate it, you've got that awkward phase where you've just got to stand there holding your dick, basically. Or people can assault you, and then they get a bonus because they're assaulting. If they assault you, though, you're becoming harder to kill, like much harder to kill, and you're already very hard to kill. So, against a unit that charges in with, say, a whole bunch of power fists, if they're just basic Terminators, they're hitting you on 5s, and then you're getting a 3+, 5+ against those wounds, and they're not instant killing you. So it's just like super survival. It's like a total brick wall. As we talked about in the show before, those double saves is what robs people it's what robs way to fire. Like way to fire is really good when it's just like pass 2s or 3s or die with like tons of shots. If I make you take like 30 saves and any 1 or 2 just kills a guy that you roll, that's fucking really good. Whereas if you're getting a 3+ and then a 5+, you're getting that double save, fucking just like robs so many more wounds. And then getting that in close combat against some of the strongest weapons in the game that would normally be instant killing you is just fucking next level. So Huskars, I would rate them as extremely good, especially for what you want to be doing. Teleporting down, assaulting unit, just standing there and going, what are you going to do? Like, fucking... I've grabbed this shit with my fist. Now, what are you going to do? Try and bash it off with sticks or something?
Yep, good luck with that.
Good luck with your bashing, sir. Okay, cool. So, that's that. Let's... Like, anything else? Any fucking... It's just really good. Like, everything... Like, has there been any downsides? There's been very few downsides. All this stuff's been really good. And I think, like, the pricing has been really good as well. Very competitive pricing, as they like to say.
Yeah.
Let's do... Then, we'll go through the Rats of War. Special units, Rats... Oh, no. We're going to do the special reaction. Shit. Okay. So special reaction is, once per battle, during the opposing player's movement phase, if you end a movement within 10 inches of one of their units, and within line of sight of them, then the Imperial Fist player may declare a charge for the reacting unit against the enemy unit, which has triggered this reaction. So if you move within 10 inches of any of their units, they could say, well, I am now charging you. Once that enemy unit has completed its move, and as if it were the controlling player's assault phase, with a charge distance in inch is equal to d6 plus the lowest unmodified initiative characteristic of any model in the reacting unit. So if within 10 inches, you roll d6 and add 4, essentially. Most of the time, almost all of the time.
Yeah.
If the charge is successful, the units are locked in combat and fight in the assault phase as normal. The charging unit benefiting from any charge bonuses, Hammer of Wrath, etc. If the charge fails, no surge move is made. So it's like fuck. Shit. So when you do teleport in your Terminator unit, and then for some reason, like, oh fuck, that's so crazy. So you teleport in really close to someone, assault them, just fucking destroy them, consolidate near another unit, and then if they try to get away, then you just go, I'm charging them. Or if they try and move anywhere around just where you are, the nearest unit, you just go, I'm charging that too. With my greedy fucking grabbing fist and just smashing that shit as well. So you've just destroyed like 2 units.
Dangerous, like even more dangerous, because going anywhere near it to try to set up for a charge to try and countercharge them.
Yeah. Because, like, they're really strong in the defense. They only get battle hardened when they are successfully charged. But they're also just fucking devastatingly out of control. So, like, who gives a shit? Like, if there is dudes with power fists or whatever, then you just stand there and go, okay, and hold your ground.
Mm-hmm.
But if there isn't, if it's just, like, 2 heavy weapon squads, or a heavy weapon squad and a rapier battery, like what I run, they could just land, smash one unit, move up, and then I'm like, oh, fuck. Try to get away, can't get away. They just charge you, or just anything that moves around you. Ugh.
And think about with other legions
So
where their warlord traits, for example, or these reactions might give you a bonus, but on the other hand, you have to do something like always move towards the closest enemy, always charge the closest enemy, or anything like that. With these ones, they're all, hey, whenever you feel like it. Do you feel like charging these guys? And
you want to smash them, bro? Okay, you can smash them. Well,
feel like it? Jump in.
Yeah. All right. Fuck. Well, let's do Stone Gauntlet. Oh, so that we'll do their rights of war. So they've got 3 rights of war. They're all the same names as the old ones. They're also all pretty long. We're only in like an hour and 10 into this episode, and Leon, we talked shit for about 20 minutes at the start. This is going to be the quickest, easiest Legion review ever. Basically, like, take all of the stuff that we just said, like, and then put in some tax squads, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, so Stone Gauntlet. So the effects are Phalanx Warders may be taken as troops choices. Okay. All models selected as part of a Phalanx Warder squad in a detachment using this right of war gain the line subtype and Heart of the Legion special rule.
Yeah, you know, just why not give your like tankiest troops an extra little bit of feel no pain. Yeah.
So I play Pride of the Legion and I don't get Heart of the Legion, and I only get my dedicated what are they called? Compulsory troops gain line.
We can tell you're struggling with your Phalanx Warder squads. So with the next benefit, you get line. You get line, Heart of the Legion. Then, as well, when you're making invulnerable saves with a boarding shield, and you're in unit coherency with at least 2 other models that also fit this criteria, you can re-roll all failed and vulnerable saves made against shooting attacks or attacks made during the fight subphase. This bonus may not be claimed if the unit the model is part of has made a run move, charge, or sweeping advance move.
Holy shit. So it's only in coherency as well. Like
I mean, re-rolling invulnerable saves when you know...
shooting attacks or attacks in the fight subphase. So as long as you haven't run, charged, or sweeping advance. So if you're just standing there...
waiting for people to charge.
As long as you're touching other models as well, remember, just based on the Phalanx Warder rules, as long as they're touching, they're getting a 4+ invulnerable instead of a 5+. And then they're re-rolling a 4+ invulnerable. Okay, alright, sounds pretty easy to play, if you know what I mean.
Wait. I know you're still struggling.
Yeah, I am.
Right. You're still struggling.
It's easy, but can you make it easier for me there?
Well,
I really want this Stone Gauntlet to work.
Why not also have Hammer of Wrath for the duration of any assault phase in which a charge is declared for the unit that model is part of? When you've got a boarding shield.
Extra attack on the charge. Not bad. Because, everything else has been defensive. Could I also have an offensive boon? Oh, thanks. Okay, well.
Yeah.
Whether or not the charge is successful. Okay, well, fuck.
Yeah.
And then limitations are you have to take Phalanx Warders in all compulsory slots. Oh boy. You'll line fucking Heart of the Legion fucking guys, yep. You may not deploy models using the Deep Strike special rule or otherwise part of the Deep Strike assault. So that does rob you of some of the strengths of your deep striking shit, but I mean, taking Phalanx Warders as troops is also a cool thing as well, whatever. And then detachment using this rite of war may not take more elites and fast attack choices in total than they have troops choices in the detachment. So, for example, a detachment with 3 troops choices could take 3 choices made up of fast attack or elites in any combination. But there's no limitation on heavy support, so you can still take your 3 heavy support squads hitting on 2s with their autocannons and minigun. Miniguns. Your Iliastus miniguns. So that seems like a pretty good thing. It's different to the old one, which used to give. Remember the one that fucking Michael used to play. Where you gave you +1 toughness if you're in coherent base to base with boyfriends or whatever the fuck it was. And you don't have that anymore. However, Huskarl's kind of got that in a way. And re-rolling invulnerable saves is just fucking way better, I think. Because they're heavy as well, so they're re-rolling armor saves and invulnerable saves against blast. They're re-rolling armor saves. So pretty fucking psycho. Yeah. So that seems like a very easy one to play, if you know what I mean. If you're a new player, maybe that'd be like a good one for you. It's like easy to remember, or my Phalanx waters are the best. Alright, next one is Hammerfall Strike Force. So this is one, I think Templar, Assault, and Stone Gauntlet were in the original rules, and then when they all got another go-round of Rites of War, Imperial Fists gained this Hammerfall Strike Force, which allowed you to mass teleport shit. So let's see what this one does. So, Phalanx Warders may be taken as troops choices in detachment using this Rite of War. Okay, good. All models in the unit comprised entirely of models with the infantry unit type and Legion of Studies Imperial Fist special rule in a detachment using this Rite of War may be given Deep Strike for 30 points. Oh, so that's fucking everything?
Yep.
Yeah, models with infantry unit type. Okay, boom. Heavy weapon squads, teleport, cool. All models in a unit composed entirely of models with the infantry unit type, upgraded to have the Deep Strike rule in a detachment using this Rite of War, gains the Shrouded 5+ special rule when deployed onto the battlefield as part of the Deep Strike assault. So, 5+ invulnerable save. And you get that against instant death, does not stop Shrouded. So, you would get that against Last Cannon. So, if you're a teleporting Terminator, you'll be getting a 4+, 5+ invulnerable save. 4+, 5+ against everything, which is fucking pretty crazy. And then limitations are models with the vehicle unit type taken in a detachment using this Rite of War must begin the battle in reserves and may not be assigned to Deep Strike Assault, Subterranean Assault, or Outflanking Assault. Okay. And the unit taking this Rite of War may not take fortification choices. Ooh. So, but, man, yeah, no forts, that kind of sucks. But, models of the vehicle unit type must begin in reserves. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I guess you gotta have shit on the table, though, so you're gonna have to have something on the table when you use that. Because your Subterranean Assault, Deep Strike, and Outflanking Assault, all that shit starts off the table, and then all your vehicles have to start off the table, but all your infantry can teleport. So you can't, like, something has to be on the table. All models in a unit composed entirely of models with the infantry unit type upgraded to have Deep Strike rule. All models in the unit comprised entirely of models with the infantry unit type and the Legion of Studies Imperial Fist special rule. So that would mean that rapiers, because they're infantry bracket, and then their subtype is artillery, so their unit type is infantry. That'd mean that you could teleport rapiers. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I've always thought about doing that, like how cool that would be to be able to just like do a mass teleport of heavy weapon squads and shit at one end of the table and just
and it does say may. It says may be given.
Oh yeah, you don't have to give it to them.
So yeah, you could just have a heavy weapons team in the woods in your deployment zone.
Oh yeah. I'm just saying, like, you could teleport in rapiers, teleport in heavy weapon squads. You could just start with a bunch of recon shit that infiltrates. So you basically say you say, okay, I'm gonna deploy first, go first, and the enemy person says, okay, and then you say, okay, well, you deploy your stuff, and then they go, but aren't you going first? Aren't you choosing the edge and deploying first and going first? And you say, yeah. And then they say, well, why aren't you putting stuff down? And you say, because all my stuff is deep striking, tunneling under the ground, or infiltrating. And then they say, but you gotta have stuff on the table. And then you say, Yeah, I know, but you have to put your stuff down because I don't infiltrate my troops until after your deployment. And then they go, fuck, okay, well, I guess I'll deploy defensively. And then you say, okay, cool, now I'm going to place my infiltrating shit, such as Seekers and whatever, fucking recon guys with Mimesis rifles. I'm going to just sprinkle these around the table wherever I want. And if you win, if they have infiltrators and you win the roll off infiltrators as well, that gives you a little boost because you get to like push right in on them with your infiltrators. Yep. And then they go fuck, and then you say, okay, it's first turn. Now half of my tunnelers are coming up, and then they go fuck, and then they have to deal with your tunnelers and your Mimesis rifles. And then turn 2 starts, and then you go, okay, cool, now fucking mass teleport. All these dudes just start fucking appearing and just immediately firing all their miniguns and autocannons and shit. Yeah. Sounds like a pretty easy meme.
And super hard to dig out Phalanx waters.
Oh, yeah. And the Phalanx waters, obviously they teleport down too and just grab the ground with their greedy grabbing fists.
Really? You know, I when I look at this one, I think this would be really cool when you're having mega games or like multiple player games or narrative games where there's like story objectives on the board, because when you're playing, like, remember that mega Zone Mortalis game you ran with the space station?
Yeah.
Being able to have your army set up where you're like, oh, where do you need me, guys? I can stick some troops here and teleport them down and grab the control center or whatever. You can do that with this Rite of War, really, really
exactly,
cool way.
In narrative gaming, like, that's fucking sick as fuck. In like what most gaming is, which is like sort of semi-narrative, and especially in this early in edition where people just want to throw shit down and smash fucking power armor into each other, and it's a more sort of like standard sort of thing. Having that mass teleport can be sort of risky. Oh, is it Augury Scanners? Who knows? Is it Augury Scanner meta? Who knows? But yeah, in something like the battle for Zul 7 or Zul, I think fucking Zul 7 crashed, and then Zul, was it Zul 13? Might have been Zul 13. Might have been the second one. But yeah, where we hook up like fucking 30 feet worth of Zone Mortalis, and then people just sort of deploy in waves and shit like that, and being able to do a mass teleport there, definitely, like them and Night Lords, just imagine that, like teleporting and teleporting each other, is fucking really cool. So definitely, like once we get into some more like giant narrative mega games, I'm sure there'll be more teleporting fucking shenanigans going on.
The other thing too, when I think of this, is as well, if you do really like vehicles, or there's some vehicles that you want to really roll with, maybe like super heavies or something, you can use this to deploy your troops into really good areas to give yourself some room to protect your vehicles or your artillery or whatever it is that you're doing. By placing them in really good spots around the place, like cherry pick great places to set up. And then when you bring those vehicles on from reserves, you don't have to worry about having that way to fire that you would if you're just setting up a line, along your deployment zone or something like that.
Yeah. Mass teleport shenanigans. All right, let's finish this off with Templar Assault. Now this one is, I'm gonna have a guess and say we're gonna be able to take lots of Templar Brethren, right? Okay, let's have a look. Okay, so effects are: units of Templar Brethren may be taken as troops choices in a detachment using this Rite of War. All models in a Templar Brethren unit taken as part of a detachment using this Rite of War gain the Heart of the Legion special rule and a line subtype. Man, how come like every single one of their rights gives them line to their dudes as well? Like, it's so annoying because like the line is so hard to get, but Imperial Fists got it all. Seems like, for a new player, I guess like they want to have maximum scoring stuff, so it'd be pretty good for a new player. All right, so all models in a Templar Brethren unit. Oh no, I just said that. For the duration of any turn in which a unit of Templar Brethren taken as part of a detachment using this rite of war disembark from a model. So like when they're being born, for example. All models in the disembarking unit gain the Rage 2 special rule. This does not apply if the unit is forced to make an emergency disembarkation. So, Templar Brethren in Land Raiders, mass assault, fucking apeshit. That's really cool. That's a nice little army. If you like imagine setting it up, in like the lunchtime phase where you're like, okay, before everyone goes to lunch, set up your armies. That would look so cool. Just a whole bunch of Templar Brethren standing in front of their fucking war machines. 3 or 4 Land Raiders with these guys in them, and then some extra, specialty Land Raiders like an Achilles or whatever, or some fucking Sikaran Punisher or Sikaran Arcus or whatever, just some auxiliary sort of support fucking tanks that are coming along with them. Don't take dreadnoughts, doesn't make any fucking sense. Why would they be running alongside a Land Raider? That's dumb. Only vehicles. That could be cool, especially for a new player, because you could like paint up fucking some Sigma, or even not for a new player, even just for any player. If you want to like throw your shit into close combat with people, because imagine like them just like oh shit, there's a whole fucking shitload of Gal Vorbak, like oh someone's playing Serrated Sun, like oh don't worry, I'll just fucking drive my assault Land Raiders into them and just get like fucking. So they got 2 attacks base. Rage would give them 4 attacks. 5 attacks because of the power sword and close combat open. So 5 attacks in the charge. Yeah. They have Furious Charge 1 as well, so there'd be Strength 5. The only problem is they're in initiative 4, so Gal Vorbak will still devastate them, but that would be a fucking, at least the Gal Vorbak being robbed of some of their attacks and things like that. But that would be a fucking sick fight. The limitations are you have to take Templar Brethren as compulsory troops, not a limitation. Mm-hmm. The Rite of War may only be taken for a detachment in an army with the Loyalist allegiance. And all detachments in an army that includes a detachment with this Rite of War must have a variant of Legion Astartes X special rule. Oh, man. So, hold on. Rite of War can only be taken for a detachment in an army with a Loyalist allegiance, and all detachments in an army that includes a detachment with this Rite of War must have a variant of Legion Astartes X. So you can't take allied custodes with them. Kind of sucks, but okay. Yeah,
that's kind of... Or Mechanicus.
Or Sisters of Silence. Like, imagine that would fucking be cool. Just a whole bunch of Templar dudes with Sisters of Silence to shut down Psychers for them. What a shame.
Witches.
Yeah, and then detachments using this Rite of War cannot take more elites and fast attack in total than they have troops. So, blah, 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 yeah. So, you want to take, like, 2 or 3 units so that you can take some heavy support vehicle squadrons. Even just some Predator squadrons or something like that. Holy shit. Fucking so good. And then you've got, if you're taking 10 Templar Brethren, you've still got 2 slots in those Land Raiders, where you can chuck in, a Primus Medicae... a character or an Apothecary. Yep. So, yeah. Man... That's a nice thematic army. I like that Rite of War. It's nice and thematic. You also get Lion on your dude, which is cool. If you've got Sigismund, why not throw him in as well? I'm pretty sure he's pretty good in this edition.
If you like a bit of modeling too, you're making like these 2 badass units of swordsmen. Maybe you get shields and stuff. If you like that kind of a little tilted towards the 40k stuff, where they've got lots of shrines and skulls and things. If you like to add a little bit of black to your models, I mean, you can do that with these guys especially.
Yep.
And I also think this would be a really badass kind of starter army. If you get that starter box set, you could do these up and put some swords on them and stuff, and have a pretty strong army. I mean, like just looking at a starter set done up as using this right could get you around just under 2,000 points.
So imagine this. So you've got your 2 troops choices are 10-man Templars in just Land Raider Phobos or whatever, or Proteus with the assault ramp, and then you take some Huskars, and they come with a storm shield, and they come with a power weapon. So you just give them power swords, and then give a couple of them Thunderhammers if you want. But boom, you just got or a couple of Solarite gauntlets in there. but then just give the majority of them swords. So because they're so fucking crazy anyway, like holy shit, they're just gonna stab the fuck out of everything. They've got rending. They're AP3. They've got rending. They'll chew through just like basic armor shit. Other Terminators, you've got a bunch of set at strength 10 power fists. You can just wail into them anyway. But at least you're giving the enemy a little bit of a chance when you charge in with your weapon skill 6 Huskars, or get countercharged or whatever. It's cool. I like it. It's a nice looking force as well. Like each one of the rites at war are pretty good. Like sort of theme wise. Like I like definitely the Stone Gauntlet, just tons of shieldy boys, sort of like marching relentlessly forward is pretty cool. And then the Hammerfall Strike, where you just like doing mass teleport shit, is pretty cool as well. Like just mass teleport is fucking the way to do combat, right? Just teleport them in, doom, they land, they just fight. If they're about to be overwhelmed, just teleport them back to the ship, refit them, re-ammo them, and then just like boom, teleport them back down, fight. Oh, they're starting to get overwhelmed, teleport them out, refill, weld some fucking shit over some holes and stuff in their armor or whatever. Swap out some fucking shoulder plates and
backfill the wounds in.
Yep. Cauterize some wounds. Give some medical attention, and then just teleport them. That's how I always imagine them. If you have teleport technology, it's just relentless, like teleport, like doom. They fight, pull them out, fight, pull them out. Just constantly, because just the shock of the teleport assault is so fucking overwhelming, and then just being able to pull, because there's not like you can just pull them out at any time. Like in the fluff, it's just like if they have a beacon, that's even better. In the fluff, like they can fucking a guy can just be like, fucking pull me out, and they just suck them out of the air, like in that Eisenhorn book, he's like falling down a thermal vent or some shit, and he teleports him out. So that sort of shit's fucking possible. That's how I imagine it. It just kind of sucks. You can't suck them off the table and put them into teleport reserves again. That would be fucking really cool. Like, or maybe I'll ride into Panoptica. The relentless teleport fucking rite of war. All right, cool. Well, that's everything. That's all the rules. As you can see, it's pretty like straightforward. They get all the benefits. They've got relatively well priced stuff. Extremely good Legion. I think like. The rules are really, really good. I think they've got a stigma, much like Custodes had in the last edition, of just being very, very good. And then also, and people are just like exploring other legions as well. Like we're seeing a lot more. Like Imperial Fists were very big in the first edition, and I think like we're seeing a lot more of other stuff being run. I think people realize Imperial Fists are probably the top dog. I would say, right? Just based rules on paper, because we haven't got to play that much because people are sort of shying away from them. So
we've all been traumatized by Stone Gauntlet, and we've all been traumatized by Phalanx Warners over the years, in the last edition. Yeah, but it's time to heal.
Yeah, that's right.
It's time to come together.
Yeah, especially if seeing as I'm a loyalist, I don't mind. Bring out whatever crazy shit you want. It's just traitor dogs that you're fighting against. Fucking cares about them.
Yeah.
They're traitors. They deserve nothing.
Come out of the cold, come out of the darkness.
Yeah. Take no prisoners against the traitors, as we always say over here. All right. Cool. Well, thanks so much for coming on, Liam. It's been good. It's been some fun times, some revelations. Some of that stuff I hadn't even read before. I've just been so busy, like, looking at all the stuff that people actually do play. It was interesting reading on some of that stuff. I think I glanced through some of that stuff ages ago, but when you're first going through, like they basically just dumped out like 18 legions worth of shit. There's so much stuff. Like when we first got think about it, they dropped like one book, like 1 or 2 legions per year for like 10 years, basically. So it was like much easier to get your hand around shit. It's sort of, we played it in stages, like rolled out and then rolled in another legion and then rolled in another legion, and it wasn't too bad. But yeah, just trying to get your head around the new meta of 18 legions. That's entirely why I'm doing this podcast too, so we can all learn together. Best way to learn is together. Is that do you think that's true? Or is that
that's absolutely true.
Oh, okay.
And I think there's going to be next year there's going to be a new truth that's going to come out once we played a bit. Things that we, like Fear of the Ancients. I think Fear of the Ancients is it's passing behind us in the rearview mirror, and there's going to be things ahead that are just going to be so much sweeter and more powerful than that.
Oh, okay, excellent. Well, can't wait. All right, thanks, Liam.
Thank you.
Fully Painted is for closers.